Hi, Dave the Sausage Prick here, bringing you another recipe that you can make at home. You're going to love this cheddar brat that we're going to making this week. A 10-pound batch. Already got the pork trim ready. We used a pork shoulder on this. You can now see through the wild game with this. If you're going to use wild game, say venison or elk, put 6.5 pounds of the lean meat and then add 3.5 pounds of, I generally use pork fat, but you could use beef fat. We're going to run this once through the fine grind, first grind, which is the fine plate, and the second grind, we're going to run through the medium plate. Here we got our first grind done here, so now we'll add the seasoning to it. You got 1 tablespoon of white pepper, half a teaspoon of ginger, ¾ tablespoon of mace, half a tablespoon of nutmeg, 2 tablespoons of black pepper, 5 tablespoons plus 1.5 teaspoons of salt, two cups of dried milk. You don't have to use dried milk, but it really helps with the texture, holds in the moisture better, kind of keeps it, binds it together. So I always use that. It's always got a softer texture. It just makes it a little bit better. 2 cups of water. Then we'll mix that up real good. We'll run it through the second grind, a medium plate on the second one. And if you don't want to make 10 pounds at a time, you can put all your seasoning for that 10-pound batch in a baggie. You mix it up real good. And I got it cut down for a 2-pound batch. So what you got to do is take a tablespoon plus 1 3/4 teaspoons of this seasoning for 2 pounds. But every time you reuse it, if you're only going to do 2 pounds at a time, you got to remix it because the heavier stuff will fall to the bottom. So just make sure you keep mixing it when you're using it. Then all you have to add to it after that is 1/3 cup of dried milk, 1/3 cup of water, and 2.5 cups of cheddar cheese. Now we're going to add 3 pounds of shredded cheddar cheese to this. You got that right here. I add this in after my second grind because I do have a stuffer. If you got a smaller grind and you're going to run it into the casings during your second grind, you can put it in before. I just like the looks of it better. It'll come out the same whether you put it in there or not on the second grind, or if you do it in your stuffer. This is 3 pounds of cheddar cheese that you put in there per 10-pound batch. So this is a real cheesy sausage. Probably my family's favorite, at least in the summertime. Remember to wrench your casings inside and out. If you have a balloon nozzle and you got some place you can screw that onto, that works really good. A lot of people don't know that you got to rinse the inside of the casing, but there's salt in there too. So that way all you have to do is put it over the nozzle like this. and start running water through it. It makes it a lot easier than trying to get it over your faucet in the sink. There's two different ways you can make the links. You can do it as singles or as doubles. I like to make mine right around 7 inches so I don't have bun on the first bite, but that's more of a preference thing than anything. So you do about 7 inches on the singles. You twist the first one. Second one, you pinch, and then you can just twist. Every other one you can twist. Try to go opposite direction each time. Sometimes I forget. That's all there is to the singles. If you want to do doubles, when I'm doing doubles, I usually like to have a 6 foot long link. But it all depends on what you're making. And sometimes the casings are a little bit shorter than I like them to be. But you just split it right in half like that. Get twisted. And the same thing every other time. You twist the opposite direction. It's that simple. That was a 28 to 30 hog casing that I was using on them. That usually give you about a 1/4 pound link. If you went up to the 30 to 32 casings, that would give you about 1/3 of a pound each. So it kind of just depends what size you want, what size casings you're going to use. Till next time, have a great day.